When was the last time you went to a live experience?
Well, I've been to gigs, but the one that springs to mind probably is when I first sort of tried a gig out, and it wasn't a music one. It was Bottom. Do you know with
Bottom the live thing with
Rick Mail and Adrian Limited? Yeah, in
when was that?
Years ago, because it was in Manchester in about, I don't know, 87, 88 or something, and I was set up for like a blind date. Right, this a mate of mine sort of set me up to see this.
What?
Girl.
So you said let's go to Bottom?
Well, I didn't tell her. I just said meet us at the Apollo.
I bet she was over the moon, wasn't she?
Met her there. I said right.
Romantic.
Going to see some middle-aged men run round in pants. Brilliant.
Well, it's good. It's one of them things that afterwards you've got something to talk about, haven't you, and stuff.
Yeah. So was it a good gig?
Yeah, it was all right. Sort of bought some April fruits and that at the start of the night.
Yeah.
I think she liked that. And then we watched Bottom. Then afterwards had a bit of a chat. And then...
You didn't see her again, I take it?
I would have done, right, because she was all right looking and everything.
Yeah.
But when we were chatting, she said she had a problem with a marrow.
What?
And that.
She what?
She had a problem with a marrow.
She had a problem with her marrow?
Yeah.
You mean her bone marrow?
Yeah.
Oh! I thought you meant she had one stuck up her fanny.
No, just a...
Thanks for that, Rick. That's an image I can't get out of my head.
No, I wondered what... Oh, I see, a marrow. I thought it was a marrow. Her marrow.
And is that serious, that? You see, I just was put off it, because I thought... If you
I think it's more serious than the problem with a marrow.
Yeah.
I mean...
With a marrow and that.
It's an idea if you're bored with butt
I
plugs.
love it! I love it! Everything he says is like someone from Kes.
It was just that thing that... Because,
You didn't want to go out with a girl who might be ill in some way.
well, yeah, I thought, what's the point in spending time with her, spending money on her and stuff, and then she's going to die on me?
Oh!
No, but seriously...
God!
No, but I'm just... But, see, this is what annoys me. You asked me to be honest, but I'm just saying, what's the point in me getting upset and stuff?
No, but it's not the... It was the one thing he said, what's the point in spending money on her if she's going to die anyway? You've got to realise that's not a normal thing to say.
No, but what's the point in getting to really knowing someone and thinking, oh, she's really nice, I want to spend my life with her. It's good that she told me when she did.
Karl! What, during Bottom? This is the most amazing thing you've ever said!
What
Steve, don't you understand what I'm saying?
But no, because... What? Well, firstly, it's the assumption that she's going to drop dead and you're going to think,
I'm
well, I
not
just
a
bought her some
doctor, I'm
April
not a
fruits, I'm
doctor, am I?
livid.
I don't know what it means when you've got a problem with a marrow and that, but she looked pretty serious when she was talking about it. So I was like, oh...
Christ almighty!
I don't understand what's so bad about it.
Play a record! I'll tell you. I'll explain to you during the break. Play a record.
Libertines?
Yeah.
If you're morally objectionable, why not email ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk.
It's okay, he's an idiot.
True.
Right, yeah, it is quiz time.
Hooray!
This is the moment we've all been looking forward to.
Go on, do you want to tease them with the prizes?
No. Not really, because they might not bother phoning in. Or it's not a phone, or is it? It's an email.
Alright.
Okay, well, a quick reminder then, we've got to the office. I don't want people to think that we'll just keep plugging the office DVD. We've got nothing else to give away.
No one gives anything away.
No,
Those
that's
just
why.
hanging around in Karl's little room.
Did you get a guy from HMV just to nick, did you get a guy just nick these from HMV and carry
the
them back?
beard and the ponytail?
Was that the story? So we got the Office DVD, obviously. We got the remix, XFM's remix album, Volume 2. That's sort of remixes of various tunes. Quite a good little compilation album here. One of those kind of the best Coldplay, Travis, Oasis, blah 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 albums in the world ever. And
Let's play some of them, because there's nothing in the library.
Exactly. Have a look on there. See
4
what you fancy.
Alanis Morissette, 9 Catatonia. I just counted that.
But the big one, the big star prize that you're all playing for is, of course, the DVD widescreen version of Children of the Corn, Stephen King's horror film. Lest we forget, it's got Peter Horton as the star. so look forward to that. We're going to give Shadow away separately, are we? We're going to do that separately?
Yeah.
We'll give away the DJ Shadow tickets at a separate...
Right, so we're playing for those DVDs and CDs, and what
it's an email competition, don't bother phoning in.
Email, yeah, the phone lines are lighting up a bit, so put the phone down, get the computer started up, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, if you know the answers to these, right? And the way it works, we did it last week, but if you didn't hear it, I'll give you some initials, and like a bit of a cryptic clue, So, and you work out who the band is or the artist, right? It's always a band or an artist. It's not any TV programs and that. So, say like last week we had S, didn't we? And it was better than the average homeless person, and that was Supertramp. Right, so it's not always XFM music, it can be anything. And there's 3 of them.
They've got to get all 3 of them?
You've got to get all 3 and email in.
How long this intro so far has taken.
Yeah, but here we go then, right? First initials, LR.
LR.
LR,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And the cryptic clue is,
You should have thought it through. You should have thought it out before you came in.
Yeah, cryptic clue.
You've got it?
Yeah.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
Yeah, yeah.
LR.
LR.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
And don't shout out if you know the answer, 'cause...
No idea, Karl. No idea.
Right, okay, so there's 1. Right, the second one, FL.
FL.
This one's actually been emailed in as a suggestion.
Okay.
That person who's done that, don't email in, because you're disqualified from the comp. So...
I'd love him to be a teacher.
So...
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Just to see him one day. Can't we do that? Can't we get you a placement somewhere for you to teach history to sort of like, 14-year-olds?
I think science, Rick.
Science would be good, yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what. You got a lot of... just quickly, for me, Karl, explain, say, what can we get him to explain that everyone learns as a kid, science?
Photosynthesis?
Right. So, FL, right? FL are the letters, and the cryptic clue, blow the candles out before you eat the cake.
Blow the candles out before you eat the cake.
Yeah. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. The letters there, FL.
Alright, we've got LR, we've got FL.
Yeah. And finally, the third one, NS.
Hold on, how many have they got to get?
3.
Don't worry, there's no more after this, Rick.
Right? NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? Right? That's one of mine. So very quickly recap, just in case we've missed any. LR is the first one. LR. I'll take that book to the toilet with me. Cryptic clue. We had FL. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. And the final one, NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? If you think you know the bands, you just email in, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You win the DVDs, the CDs, and that's it.
He's great, isn't he? I could sit here and watch him all day do this. Wow.
So ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
And we'll give the answers out just before, we finish, because then we'll keep them up.
Alright.
Karl, just briefly, this is module 4A, natural history, yeah? Just briefly explain evolution. So, natural selection, origin of the species, Darwin, just briefly describe.
That's the monkey thing. It is, isn't it?
Oh, well done.
Yeah, go on.
Tune, Karl.
What do you have fancy playing?
Rick, I know you're always keen to rejuvenate the reputations of certain artists when you think maybe they've been kind of unfairly treated in the history of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a band I've always thought has been treated badly.
Yeah.
The Lemonheads.
Go on.
You with me?
Yeah.
Race for the prize from the Flaming Lips. Competition answer time, is it, Karl?
Yeah, we did this like about an hour ago.
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters.
With Karl Pilkington.
Yeah, I gave you some initials. The initials sort of made up a band. We had LR, we had NS,
Yeah,
we had FL.
Well, give us the clues. Give us the clues in the answers.
What?
Right, so LR, the clue was, I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
What's
the
the
answer?
answer?
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
Good.
That's very good. That's very good, Karl. Well done.
Alright, okay, next one. FL, blow the candles out before you eat the cake. Yeah, we just play them. Flaming Lips.
There we are.
Okay, and the final one was NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like this?
Yeah.
That was NSYNC. Yeah.
NSYNC.
NSYNC, it'd be a bit...
NSYNC.
If you had a sink, you wash up in a sink.
Yeah.
Shaped like an N, you'd be like, oh, have I got everything out?
Has anyone got that? Wow.
Right,
Well,
so...
no, there are right answers, I have to say, Karl. You've done very well. It was an enormous response. I'm just going to click on one of these emails randomly. I'm not even going to look. Who we got here? We've got
Kath Turner is the winner. Kath Turner gets those great DVDs and CDs, including
watching Children of the Corn tonight.
Children of the Corn.
She was going out, but I imagine she's going to phone a few friends and say, I can't come out, I'm ill.
Exactly.
They go, you're not watching Children of the Corn. I go, no.
And we've learnt as well that there are about 5 other sequels to Children of the Corn, so maybe we'll give those away consecutively. Now, Rockbusters, dead in the water, isn't it? We've killed that off, have we, officially?
We killed off Monkey News and Rockbusters.
Didn't I tell you that there was some sort of petition for Monkey News?
Was there? What was the story?
A lot of, loads of emails and that.
You mean you've done Monkey News? You mean you want to do Monkey News?
No, but seriously, there's uproar. And people were like, you can't get rid of Monkey News.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that.
Who sort of what?
Loads of people.
Was it monkeys? Trying to write the complete works of Shakespeare?
Did Tony Blair get a whiff of it, and he's coming down like a ton of bricks? Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News!
Excellent. So, Monkey News time on XFM. Karl Pilkington, the man in the hot seat. Karl, what have you got for us?
Okay, Monkey News this week. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We have indeed.
Now, do you know, like, there's places where you can go for, like, weekend rests and stuff,
Sure.
and you relax, you sit in a little spa, you might have a swim and stuff. Well, they've got a place done for monkeys.
Of course they have.
Right, they can go there, they relax, forget about all the stuff they've got going on in their head. They can have a manicure.
Right.
It's got nice meals.
It's not called a manicure though, it's called a chimpacure.
Beauty treatments.
Yeah.
Right, look good and stuff.
Yeah, well, look good, feel good, yeah.
Now, you might think, well, that's pretty normal.
Well.
The bit I haven't told you about is it's actually run by a couple of chimps.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! You're a maniac!
Right.
Oh, for Christ! Oh.
Let's just...
That's like coming a chimp!
Let's just...
Of course it's not!
No, it is, because think about it, right?
No, not think about it. What do you mean, yes it is? Of course it's not run by a couple of chimps. What do they do, get a loan?
Right, if a chimp wants to have a rest,
Yeah.
where would you go to? A place that's run by humans that don't know what chimps' needs are?
No! My point is this, how did they get it together? How did the two chimps, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp, went for a loan and said, I'll tell you what we need, a spa.
I think it started off quite simple, right? Just you know, basic stuff.
But they've expanded over time because it's become so popular.
It's gone mental down there.
Sure.
Go!
They've all heard about it. Now, the thing is, the problem is this, right? That isn't even the top and bottom of it, right?
Christ.
The problem is, it's been going on and on and on, right? It's been earning a lot of money and stuff. The monkeys are happy. The monkeys that go there are loving it. They're telling friends and stuff. They're all coming to it. Now, the problem is, it's this little monkey, little man monkey and a little woman monkey, right?
Yeah.
They were sort of girlfriend and boyfriend.
Sort of. It's an open relationship, they can play around if they want.
Well, the problem is they're not married, right? Now,
trouble brewing.
the lad monkey, fella monkey, he's getting quite old.
Mm.
And the problem is, because it's his name that's down on all the stuff.
Karl,
all the forms.
actually,
Let him finish.
I'm getting scared now.
Let him finish.
It's his name on the business, and the problem is his missus is kind of like, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Where
If
are
he
you
passes
getting
away-
this from? What?
Internet.
Karl, I don't know where to start.
No.
This is the.
Can we
this
just
is
hear
the-
the end?
This is ridiculous.
So the problem is, the
Female
girl-
monkey is worried that the male monkey
she's worried.
is
What's
going to die.
What's going to
and
happen with the
gonna
business? What's going to happen?
Of course.
Right now,
What do you mean the business?
the health
There is no
spa-
business. It's a joke.
Health
Rick,
spa.
you're not listening. His name's on the form. The male monkey's name, it's in his name.
Now the problem is, the woman monkey has got some kids, but because they're not blood relatives, it's not going to be handed down to them. And the
What,
courts,
they're kids from a previous monkey marriage?
yeah,
Right.
so they're not going to get it. And me just check this out.
Yeah, otherwise you don't want to check the facts, otherwise you could look like a twat spouting shit on the radio. Please check the facts for scientific security.
And they're just a bit worried because they're saying that the people in Ohio, which is where they've got the little health thing going on.
So that makes it more believable that it's Ohio. I thought you meant it was Berkshire, in which case it would be rubbish.
It looks like the local people are trying to get in there. They've seen the success of it.
Sure.
And they're trying to go in and take it over and stuff.
Yeah.
So...
Give me the piece of paper.
Throw it away. Play a record. That's the worst one I've ever heard. And there's something wrong with you. You're educationally subnormal.
Final tune from us, Tim Buckley. Lovely song called Wings. Back next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. See you, Karl.
Although you've spoken many times before.
And this is kind of, you were making everything except a living.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I thought, right, how do I make a suit? I thought, well, I used to go to the library and learn, I don't know, I can make a suit, you know, I don't want to do it like other people, I do it differently. So my method for making this made-to-measure suit, was I got one of the sets of curtains and laid them on the floor.
Right.
I laid down on the curtain and drew round my legs.
Right.
Okay?
Hang on, so you were making the trousers first?
Yeah. So I thought, hold on, that's just one side of the trouser. So I laid down another curtain and drew around my legs again. And I thought, right, I cut those out. So now I've cut out 2 leg-shaped curtain pieces, right? I put them together, sewed them up. Of course, it was nowhere big enough.
Of course
because
not.
I'd left no room, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to squeeze into them. I mean, they look like jodhpurs. They look like tights, okay? So I thought, this is really hard, right? I pulled them off again, right? I thought, how am I going to make the jacket? I didn't. I just used one of the curtains as a cape. So I thought, I mean, I looked like a gay Hamlet. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So what I did was...
Did you squeeze into the trousers? You wore the trousers?
I sort of squeezed it. I couldn't wear them, though.
Yeah,
So what I did was, I rolled it up and shoved it under the chair.
You rolled up what? Sorry,
To the suit I made. Jane came in about a few days later. She went, "What's that?" I said, "That's where I had to go at the suit." And she pulled it out and, you know, died laughing. The idea that this man sat down and drew round his legs to make some trousers.
But well, firstly, why did you not just throw it away? Why did you stash it under the...
I don't know, because I thought...
And you were watching TV on the sofa and she was a foot higher than you. And she thought, what's going on here? And there was a suit stuffed. I mean, why not just throw it away? I don't understand.
I don't know. That's what you do, isn't it? You think, maybe...
Again, we were talking before about the fact that you used to be very thin, and now you're very fat. And they seems like 2 different people.
Well, not very fat.
Well, most people would say you are. But
wearing black.
It seems as though you were also an idiot when you were younger. I mean, because you're a smart man now.
I know.
Why would it not occur to you that you couldn't make your own suit?
Because I've always thought I can do anything. I've always thought, I can make a suit. Of course I can make a suit. I'll be brilliant at that. I'll make a suit. And it took me getting fat to realise the world doesn't lay down to you.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll never be fat. I will never be fat. Look at me. Look at me, you know. So I suppose...
And even as you were getting fatter, that must be the mirror.
No.
James, come with the mirror.
No, at least I can put eyes on myself. As soon as I started getting fat, I started saying I was fat before I was fat.
Yeah.
Because when you've been really thin, you know, I mean, I couldn't get anywhere near those curtains now. No. I couldn't. They wouldn't go past my ankle now.
You kept them?
Yeah, they're under the chair.
Yeah. And you still, of course, if someone comes to the door and you can't be bothered to reach for your pyjamas, maybe just wrap the curtain round you.
I just pop the curtain around me, I could probably make a pair of pants out of them. I mean, soon I will be in nappies, which will be easy to make.
Yeah.
So, but when I'm older, and Jane goes, just off to work...
Where are those pillowcases?
Doesn't matter. I need changing. Karl had a treat in the week, didn't he?
He couldn't believe his luck.
We know Darren Brown. You know Darren Brown, the sort of magician, mind reader fella.
It's more special than that.
Well, called me up in town, said, "Do you mind if we bring along Karl?" He went, "Pleasure." Karl's very cynical, saying, "Well, he won't get into my head."
Yep.
Great, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
He went, "Can I ask him questions?" I went, "Well, no, it's social." He went, "I'm not coming." I went, "Well," he went, "Well, I'll ask him, I want him to know how he did that trick when he said, you got the winning ticket." I went, "He's not going to tell you, he's a magician." He went, well, it's not worth it then, if I can't quiz him. But he came
I
along.
still did though, didn't I? Got in there with the questions that the people wanted to know about.
Yeah, go on, what did you ask him and what did you find out?
I said, how do you do that?
I love the fact that the first half hour, me, Steve and Darren Brown were convincing Karl that he didn't see a ghost when he was 5.
Yeah.
And then we got onto the tricks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it will live in my mind. He won't get inside my head.
Yeah.
And he got inside your head magnificently, Karl, didn't he? I mean, were you not amazed? I mean, Darren promised actually that he would come on the show in the future, and then you, the listeners, can see how he can baffle, amaze, and just generally freak out.
I think we should film everything that happens, right? Because it's just a waste, because you're only getting half of it when you hear what Karl has to say. Because his face, honestly, he says 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think we should film it and just put it on a DVD of Karl's facial expressions. This is Karl thinking he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
This is Karl thinking they were going to clone a man moth.
Yeah.
It's just different faces.
So do you want to try and explain what he did and what marvelled you so much?
Right, yeah, he comes in, he sits down, I'm a bit sort of, bit
Skeptical,
spooked by him
aren't you?
straight away.
Oh, you're spooked by him straight away,
Yeah,
really?
there's a weird thing about him, right? So anyway, he sat there, and I'm watching him.
It's because he was naked.
Checking, you know, seeing what he's, you know, looking at and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets his paper out, and I think, right, he's gonna do a bit of trickery and that. And he says to me, right, write down a number and a name, right? It was between...
A 2-digit number, a 2-digit number, and a name of anyone you know.
Yeah, right. Now, the thing is, I thought of the name because I was telling Steve earlier about the kid at school who I fell out with, right?
Yeah.
Over that girl who was called Aris,
Yeah.
right? So that name was, like, in my mind, ready to go. Because I didn't want to use anybody's name who I knew, sort of, now, because maybe you've mentioned it in the past. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't say Suzanne.
I knew Colin Makin anyway.
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean?
Auntie
So I picked a name, yeah. Well, I thought you might have been thinking about Auntie Nora. So I picked this name, right, that you three didn't really know about, right? Number just came to mind, right? So he
42,
says, right,
we were never thinking of that.
42, right? He said, right, just keep saying it over and over in your head. And I'm there, and he's saying all these sort of different numbers at me, and I'm trying to throw him off a little bit. Every time he said a number that was nothing like 42, I was sort of smiling, looking a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Don't know if you caught that, right?
All I could see was you looking sort of blank.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I was doing
stony
that.
faced.
He picked the wrong person when he said let your mind go blank, you'd realise he picked on the wrong person then.
Right. So,
you had to squeeze his head to get it going again.
I said, Darren, if in doubt, he'll be thinking of monkeys. And Darren looked at Karl and he said, were you thinking of monkeys? He said, I tried not to and I thought of them more.
right, that's true as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm there thinking of these numbers and that, and then he said, right, let's just talk about other stuff for a bit, right? So I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Right, because I don't want you to catch me out. But then when we were talking, I was trying to, like, knock him off track.
Clever.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I played a bit of hardball with him.
Yeah.
I was, like, saying, because we were talking about aliens and that as well, weren't we? And I was saying, well, you know, they might come and land again in 2060.
Clever.
Do you know what I mean? Dropping in different numbers and
Sure.
that, and so doing all that, playing him at his own game, and I think I had him for a bit.
On the ropes, yeah.
So, anyway, comes down to the time when he's telling me the name and the number.
Yeah.
And, well, he explained what he actually did. I mean, that was...
He said, just think of a number at the end of it, and he said, oh, is it an I? And you went, it wasn't an I, but there is no, okay, and anyway, he got
You got the name.
Harris, then he went and said, are you an extrovert? And he wrote down these numbers.
Well, he wrote down some numbers and he said that if you're an extrovert, these are the numbers you tend to choose. If you're an introvert, these are the numbers you tend to choose. And he wrote them down. And he said, I don't think you're really an introvert, I don't think you're this, I don't think you're that, da-da-da. And I think he came up with the number 32, didn't he? He said to you, you're thinking of number 32. You said to him, no way. You couldn't believe your luck, could you, when you've caught him out?
But he said it's either 42 or 32, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, no, but it was beside the point, because then he said, you know, rather brilliantly, hang on a minute, if you just add up these numbers here, that adds up to 42.
It was a magic
if you add
square.
Up those numbers, that's 42. That's 42 across diagonally there. That box is 42.
All the numbers that added up on the page, whether you go across, sideways, down, across, whatever, always added up to 42.
Yeah.
Right?
And
you've got the name Harris.
Which freaks you out.
It freaked me out. I kept saying to him, how do you do it, how do you do it, and he wasn't telling me. I was talking to people at work about him, and, one lad said, I apparently the trick that he uses is the same thing that Hitler did.
Play record.
No, seriously. Apparently it's the same thing because he was saying...
What? Play record.
No, just let me finish because I've even ran it by other people to check if I'm right on this.
Okay, let's play record and come back to
Because the people in the XFM office, I mean, they're pretty wise. They're up on that stuff.
No, he used it in a different way.
Play record.
No, hang on a minute, let me hear it.
All it is, it's power of suggestion, apparently. And when Hitler used to do his big speeches to people.
Yeah. Do you want to play? What should we play?
Come on, finish your point.
Well, that's about it.
Who told you that? Ian Canfield.
A few different people.
Right.
The big thinkers out there in
like
the XFM office. The brain boxes.
But anyway, right, it's...
Because I mean, Magnus Magnusson works on XFM now, doesn't he?
Right, listen.
Or was it Paxman? Was it Jamie Paxman?
That blew me away, right, the fact that he got the name, he got the number. Spooky bit, right? I'm walking home. I called you up a couple of times and I left a message on your phone. Because it was just amazing. Not only was he good at magic, but his maths was brilliant. No, well, that thing adding up to 42 was like, how did he do that? I mean, we didn't even make a big deal out of that.
He said, all Karl Vorderman's got is the maths.
You know what I mean? Imagine him on Countdown. He'd even know what they were going to write down. You know what I mean? So, a bit of a wasted talent. I should see him again about that. I think he's...
He asked him, I said, why are you doing it on mucking around on telly? Then he went, sorry? He went, why are you mucking around on telly? And he said you could make some serious money. I think Steve went, well, he does all right. He went, nah, but if he did that with the ticket thing all day.
But didn't you say to him you should be working for the police force?
I said, yeah, he should be in a police station. He could help people out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a daft idea, is it?
Not really.
Right, so anyway, right, so I get home, I'm calling different people up walking home, I couldn't believe it. Right, I called Suzanne up telling her about it, and she's like, slow down. She said, you're like a little kid who's just been on a fairground ride or something. Slow down. Right, so I'm telling her, call me mum and dad up. My dad wasn't that impressed.
No, of course
He's
not.
like, well, that's all been done before. But anyway, right, so...
But then he wasn't impressed with Little Donkey, was he?
No, he's not impressed by much, is he?
Right, so I get in,
He probably had to nip out down to the phone box.
Right.
Do some thieving.
Yeah. We've forgotten bread. No, I'll just go down the phone box.
Right, so I get into my flat, right, and what they do in my flat where I live, they put the post in, like, these little pigeonholes. Right, and I don't normally check them out. I leave it for Suzanne to do, right?
Sure.
But this time, for some weird reason, I thought, right, I'll check it, see if we've got any posts. Open it up. There's only this. A letter for Miss Harris.
Yep, there it is, bona fide in front of us. A letter addressed to a Miss Harris.
Well, does she live there?
No, it's my address. She doesn't live there.
Did she ever?
Dunno. It doesn't matter. It's weird, isn't it?
But
we've never had. Normally, I think there was a guy who lived there called Yaki Shoki.
Mr. 42.
It definitely wasn't an Harris, right? This is the first time we've had a letter for this woman.
Yes.
Right.
But what are you claiming? Because
Well,
Darren Brown himself admits that it is not paranormal, it is not supernatural, it is a trick. It's a trick.
But he would say that, wouldn't he? Hitler said that. Play a record.
Well, can we open this?
No! It's illegal!
No, but I'm thinking if it's a birthday card for someone's, like, 42nd birthday.
Right. You can't open that letter. Go and put it back, or you cannot open that letter.
Why not?
You can't open someone else's mail, because you think Darren Brown's, supernatural.
What if we steamed it open? Then resealed it, no one would know.
It's only a letter.
You can't, yeah, you can, but I don't want any part of it.
Carl,
So
I think you should open it.
No, you open
I'm not opening it. It's against the law. You should open it,
Right,
though.
we won't open it then.
They won't send you to prison.
Look, forget it.
You'll get off.
Cure?
Yeah.
Bit of cure?
There's no cure, no.
I'm looking, well, I'm tempted to open it.
Well,
6 Different Ways by The Cure from the album The Head on the Door. We've enjoyed that.
The head on the door, Carl. Ooh, bit of a coincidence.
Spooky, isn't it?
It was only 4 weeks ago you were talking about a head and a door.
Exactly.
has the door got a number on it? 42.
Oh dear. Oh.
So we're not opening it?
No.
Well, I can't open it because as the producer, right?
Oh yeah, because your standing in society is such that they'd make a real example of you.
Yeah.
That a producer of a tin pot radio show once a week. Yeah, he should know better. He can press buttons and talk at the same time. Send him down.
They wouldn't try you in an adult court.
You would get
It
away.
wouldn't be
You would
allowed.
get away with it. Just they'd hear you speaking for a little while, and the judge would end up squeezing your head and letting you off.
It'd be like those people who train monkeys to break in. Do you remember down in South London? We talked about it in the past, and they were going around robbing stuff, and they trained them to do it. Yeah,
think
so
they
I
did
think
the same
I don't think those monkeys would have got in trouble. It would have been the keepers. So, you know, I think XFM would probably take the rap.
Will you open it?
No, I can't be seen to open it.
No, he's
I'm
a
an
writer director.
Exactly.
So am I. I can't be seen to open
I'll
it.
give it here then.
Right, I'm having no part of this.
That's against the law, but
Right, I'm having no part of it.
open it. Come on, you started now.
Right.
The thing is, right, if it's important, we can say maybe she's listening.
But do you need the stress? What it could be anything. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Oh, and if you are listening, Mrs. Harris, you have got gonorrhea. Call the clinic. Do you know what I mean? It could be anything.
Oh dear.
Oh well. I think my talk did well. What is it?
It's the number 42 on there.
What is it? Could you say? Be careful. What?
Let me see what it is.
What is it?
Oh. Dear Sir, Madam, your periodical dental inspection is now due. Would you kindly contact the surgery to make an appointment? Harris, Mrs. Harris, if you're listening, your periodical dental inspection is now due. You might want to contact the dental surgeon that you normally go to.
Could have a faulty tooth.
42.
42.
I don't believe it. 42.
42. Oh my God.
God, that Darren's good.
Darren Brown's good, isn't he?
Oh dear.
That's some blur then.
Talking yesterday to Matt Robinson, the guy I did the film with that you came over and did a part in that we've cut. And his dad is a doctor and used to go around the world and stuff. And when he was about 10, he went on holiday, and they were driving through Indonesia to get to somewhere else, I forget where, but they came across this village where he said the spiders have won. Okay, they drive in. As you're driving in, he could see these things sort of hanging from the trees and the sort of telegraph poles. And as they got closer, he realised they were just big spiders. They just made webs everywhere, and he could see them on the street, okay? He said it freaked him out. They parked up in the sort of like the high street, and he said he got out, and they were running on the pavements, like pigeons, and that's just running everywhere. He said the kids were playing with them. The kids were playing with them. There was no one else freaked out less. He said he ran to the restaurant. They had to stop. He ran into the restaurant, freaked out. He got into the restaurant, and there was a tarantula on the floor. And he ran back in the car. And he said later to his dad, was that a dream? And his dad went, no, it's true. You know, it's a real place, right? He was telling me about it. That's the worst place in the world. He was looking it up. He was trying to Google it, and he can remember the name of this place, Indonesia, and he put in Spider Village, Indonesia, right? And he couldn't find it. But another one came up in Cambodia, and it was there, and he said it was exactly the same, just as bad, a place where just spiders have won, okay? But in this place, they eat them.
They eat the spiders. The local inhabitants eat the spiders.
Yeah.
Wow. So this town is just dense with spiders.
It's
They're
just
everywhere.
they're just happy there. No one's killing them. No one's doing anything.
Are you just treading on them as you walk down the street?
Yeah. He said they've just taken over. There's a place off Madeira they called Spider Island where no one lives there, but with absolutely no predators. There's just millions of spiders, but no one lives there.
How do you prevent the spiders? You know, when you're sleeping, crawling in, getting in.
You don't. They just put up with them. I suppose it's that, you know, they're no weirder than any other insect or pest or whatever you call them. It's just, I suppose, because you think of spiders as loners. Yes. And they're the top sort of phobia, and it seems weird that they're almost treated like pets. But isn't that a weird place though, that you drive in and it's just, oh hello, welcome to Spider Town.
I couldn't be dealing with it. I mean, my mum wouldn't be that bothered. She's still got that one that's under the telly. She's had that for ages. And my dad threatened that he was going to kill it because he's sick of it. She's put a bit of Tipex on its back. So she knows.
What?
So she knows.
Well, how many spiders are there? What, you think you'd kill it and then replace it out of guilt? It's not like a budgie.
No, but you can sort of say, oh, I don't know, it's gone. And then if one turns up again, he'll go, your spider's back.
Yeah.
But now she's marked it.
What, so hang on,
Well, that's weird.
It has a web underneath the telly.
It's always under the telly. I don't think it bothers with a web.
But what do you mean she keeps a spider under the telly?
It's just there, and she's sort of like, it's not a problem. They get rid of flies. They're not dirty. It
doesn't get rid of flies if it sits there watching Coronation Street.
It doesn't do much. Honestly, it can be there in a corner. I don't know what it does. I don't know. It just sits there. But she likes the fact that it's there. It's that thing, innit, of older people like that, don't they? They don't like change. It's like part of the family, you know. All the kids have left home now. She's got this little spider with Tipp-Ex on its head.
I like the way that she went into a drawer. She had an idea. She was worried about it. She was worried about her husband killing it. I know. This is for your own good. Tipp-Ex, pop that on you.
And you've been round there with the spider that doesn't freak you out?
Well, I'm going round this weekend, but I used to always sit on the floor to watch the telly.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm not sitting on the floor.
You'd be watching Spider-Man, it would be criticising, well that wouldn't happen.
What does your mum think of it? Does she think it's like a little pet, or she doesn't want to get rid of it?
I think it is a pet because, like, you know, she's had loads of cats, she's had dogs, she's got a budgie, and now my dad's sort of saying, don't get any more pets because it means we can't go on holiday.
Right.
Spider can look after itself.
I love the idea. Someone say, do you mind coming, we're on holiday for a week, do you mind coming around with a fly every 2 days? Yeah, I just keep an eye on it. I mean, I thought Spider Island was weird, but keeping a spider under the telly with Tipp-Ex on it, as a pet.
I don't know how many there are now. I was thinking, what we should do on this show as well, is have a doctor.
Right,
just sit in the
you're
corner.
worried about your health?
No, just so when Karl says, why are your bollocks there, the doctor can now go, well, let's ask doctor.
Right.
And he goes, they're there because I don't know. And we need a vet
Dr.
as well.
Fox available?
we need a doctor, probably a vet, some sort of vet, or a naturalist would be good. And what else? Oh, and a physicist or something, or an astronomer. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Karl?
I'd love that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Is there any doctors listening? Of course there are, as if a doctor would listen to this. If you are a doctor, I want a qualified doctor. I don't mean someone who's in their second year at medical school. We're not interested in that. Right, a qualified doctor, a GP, or any specialist, and you maybe want to contribute regularly, give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll even give you a special phone line and stuff.
Yeah.
Not for now, though. We're going to get a lot of mentalists, aren't we?
I would adopt a nom de plume, an alternative, identity, because your patients are going to flee if they find out you listen to this.
Exactly.
Tribe.
What's the phone number, Karl?
Well, they might as well just email in with the number, mightn't they?
That's because you don't like answering the phone.
No, I just think it's a better way of doing it.
Okay, how can they prove they are a doctor?
Just,
Go on, Karl.
Something to do with,
Go on. Something to do with,
What thing could they say that we'd say, well, he's definitely a doctor, or we wouldn't know that? Think of something.
well, I'm not a doctor, so...
We're on the radio, Karl! When we ask you a question, you've got to speak!
I know, I'm just thinking, I don't know how you'd know, because you never ask them, do you? If you need their help, you don't think of going, no, before you do this, do you know what you're doing? But saying that, right?
Go on! Go on!
Talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
What was it now? Listen, the fella...
Play a
no,
record.
listen.
Alright, no, come on, alright, he's got it now.
Go on.
This fella goes to the doctors, right?
Oh, right, okay. Right, if this isn't any way apocryphal, stupid, illogical, impossible, right, you are never, ever speaking again on radio. So make sure this is at least possible. I'll tell you what, I'll even give you improbable, but possible. So if there's anything that breaks the laws of the universe, or logic, okay, that's all you have to avoid. On you go.
Right, so this fella, right, he goes to the doctors because he's got earache.
Right. Okay, if a chimp's living in his brain... Go on.
So he's got earache, he's sat in the waiting room and his ear's all bunged up and it's hurting a lot and what have you. So the doctor comes out and he goes, right? And because his ear's all bunged up, he doesn't hear it that well, right? So he thinks it must have been me, right? So he wanders in.
Keep going.
Anyway...
I'm gonna hate this. I can just feel it in my bones. Steve, I'm gonna let you take over. Okay,
Let's hear it.
So the doctor says, sit yourself down there, right? So he sits himself down, he goes, right, take your pants off, right? So he's thinking, that's a bit odd. Anyway, he heard
that though.
He apparently he took his tackle off. The doctor, did some operation.
What, there in the waiting room?
No, in his office.
In his office, yeah.
What?
Wait, so he removed what? His genitals?
Yeah.
In his office.
Why, Karl?
Because he hadn't called him in.
Oh, he's calling the bloke who wanted his testicles taken off, and he didn't do it. What? So the doctor went out and said, Mr. Jones, who's here to whip off your cock and balls, just here and now, right? Bloke comes in, didn't it? It must have been me. So the bloke with who wanted his balls taken off didn't say, oh, I think he said me. So he didn't interrupt then. So the bloke goes in, he starts taking his testicles off, and he doesn't say, I'm here for me ears. It's the new single from Snow Patrol and Run. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Good stuff.
On XFM 104.9.
Rick.
Go on.
I'm about to say 3 little words to you that I've never said to anyone before.
Go on.
Karl is right.
On what, though?
From Reuters, someone's emailed in. A Brazilian man who went to a clinic to have an aching ear checked ended up having a vasectomy after mistakenly believing that the doctor had called his name. He had gone in there, entered the vasectomy room when he was called. He was called by the full name and yet thought it was him. But the strangest thing is that he asked no questions when the doctor started preparations in the area which had so little to do with his ear. He later explained that he thought it was an ear inflammation that had got down to his testicles. And, the fellas came off. Extraordinary.
Right.
I'm stunned.
Amazing, isn't it?
But there's lots of things that keep coming true with Karl's nonsense. There's a programme on next week. The boy who gave birth to his twin.
Oh.
And he's there, he's like pregnant with his thing, you know.
How long ago did we do that?
Yeah, you discussed that years ago.
When I talked about it, it was a baby who had a baby. Now it's a boy who's like a grown man and that. It's took them ages to sort that out. I did it in one link one Saturday with the full story. Right? Keeps happening. We've done like Donald McIntyre's thing, right? He's been ripping us off. I did Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
He's been doing it.
No, he hasn't.
He has. He's done some programme about how much it costs to get a monkey and that.
Right.
What else have we done?
He believes this.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff we've done like that.
You had the maggot coming out of the head. I laughed at you, yeah. Didn't in the programme, didn't see him wrapping the head in bacon, but, I mean, the principle's there.
Bob Holness has ripped off Rockbusters.
Yeah, and he ripped you off years ago.
Yeah.
He's been ripping you off for years, which is even more annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yesterday, you know, Rich and Judy gave you the tea picked by monkeys.
Yeah.
I told you about that, either last week or the week before.
Yeah, and then you also told me that there's a place where they grow coffee, where the weasels come out and eat the coffee, right? But they have too much of it, get dysentery and vomit, and they sell the vomit because it makes the coffee smoother.
Weasel vomit.
Yeah. Absolute shiz.
It's not.
Right.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whereas the way you'd say it.
Yeah.
No,
Why do they keep taking the coffee? Probably
you
addicted
get
to
addicted to it, don't you? Caffeine and that.
Yeah. Why do they stick it up then? Do they have too much?
They're tired, they can't sleep. They sort of. So they get ill, it eventually wears them down, they're sick, and then they sell it.
I showed those there's people send monkey news all the time for Karl, and I showed him one earlier, which said there's a new monkey hospital that's been opened.
Yeah. Karl,
Now, that's for the treatment of monkeys, right?
But he immediately thought it was run by monkeys in white coat. Did he really?
Yes, and he was disappointed because it wasn't. He was assuming there'd be little janitors, is that what you said? Yeah, little janitors mopping up.
Carl!
Little chimps with the ECG machines or whatever they're called. Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
He was almost angry.
Yeah.
Disappointed with it.
And what's this about Donna Eyre giving her baby to a gorilla for a week?
It happened.
No, it didn't happen.
She had a baby, they went on the honeymoon, they left it to a little gorilla to look after.
Don't talk! Absolutely, don't talk! Oh,
Again,
Karl!
there's people online now, so they can have a look at Anna Nova. Do you want to give some stuff away? Do some,
He believes it, and that's it! But the more these things sort of like pop up come true, the more worrying it is. The more worrying it is for everyone. Imagine if Donna Eyre had left her baby to a gorilla. It's libelous. You saying that? It's libelous.
It's not. Well, someone will send it in a bit, and then you'll feel daft again. So I'm not even worrying about it.
Okay.
Right, you've got some rubbish to give away, did you say?
Yeah, we've got some stuff to give away, DVDs, stuff like that.
Well, let's play a record, let's do the
Any
competition
VHSs? Any films on VHS?
Yeah, a couple of them in there.
For £4.99?
Yeah,
Supergrass.
yeah, excellent. What is the competition, incidentally?
Doing songs of phrase.
No.
Have you heard this thing they're doing? The schools have got together. They're tired of obesity being a problem in England. It's a big problem in England. Basically, everyone's overweight, particularly kids. There's kids that are like 10 stone going to infant school and stuff and junior school. It's getting ridiculous. And so now the teachers are allowed to weigh the kids. They're going to weigh the kids. Okay. Yeah, get them in there and go, right, get on the scale. And then they're going to send a letter to the parents saying, please be aware, your child is obese. Now, I don't know what good that's going to do, because a teacher will send a letter to a parent, go, dear Mr. and Mrs. Barnes, we weighed little Johnny today at school, and he's overweight, he's a big fat pig. And they're going to go, yeah, we know, we have to push him out the door to get him to school, he makes a popping sound. We know he's fat, he eats too much. We know he's fat because we have to buy him pairs of trousers every 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, we know he's fat because we're a couple of fat bastards
Always.
ourselves.
I love that when they say about our child obese, they show you a picture of a kid and his face is nearly closed up.
Yeah.
It's just closed, right? There's no eyes anymore. He's just got little slits for eyes where his cheeks and his forehead are meeting.
Yeah.
Right? And you just go, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you see the parents, they go, well, yeah, we can't do anything. And you go, no, look at you!
Yeah. No, I saw a couple the other day. I saw a dad, giant arse.
Yeah.
And then I was walking behind them, and 2 kids, exactly the same giant arses.
Yeah.
Now that I can't believe that that's.
Well, they eat the same things. You can't.
Like a couple of bison, it was.
Yeah, if the parents are just eating, they can't say to the kids, you've had enough. They go,
Right.
what, fuck, look at you!
I saw them in Tesco supermarket. You know, they've got like cafes in there now.
Have they?
Big fat family in there. The fact that they're buying food and they're having a break from buying food to eat food.
To eat food, yeah.
Just sums it up.
It made
Loads
them a
of
bit
donuts.
peckish, didn't it? I mean, don't forget, that is the only exercise they get, pushing a trolley round. They get home and then they wedge themselves in that 3-piece suite and they're watching ITV1 for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And eating cakes and things, microwavable stuff.
Well, they're watching X Factor, but they're only watching X Factor waiting for the adverts for Pringles.
Exactly,
Domino's
yeah.
Pizza.
Exactly.
That's what they're looking forward to.
They could do that. They could make it a bit harder to shop, couldn't they? If you walk through the door, it goes ding, 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 and you go. And for fat people, the shopping moves around a bit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
constantly out, moving away.
Yeah, exactly. You're putting it on a string. Or
Yeah.
something. You want the pie, and you have to at least get up a bit of a sweat.
Well, they're
to get
on
the pie.
conveyor belts, like in a sushi restaurant.
Exactly.
And they just got to
Exactly,
chase
yeah.
after the oven-fried chips.
Unbelievable.
Or is there some kind of cattle grid device that only fat... Is there anything that we could put...
Oh, you can only get to
You
this.
can only get to the food
if you can get through this.
Right, yeah.
That's a good point, yeah. So the really fattening stuff is through a thin door.
Or just, or one of those kind of, those sort of, tubes that soldiers you see have to crawl through when they're doing their training.
And that's to pies, to
Right.
calorific,
Exactly,
to the
the
calorific
calorific
stuff.
section.
Yeah. The shop is full of salads.
Yeah.
You can go around, you can even eat as you go around
Yeah,
the
it's
salads.
like a
You can
forest
treat.
of salads, yeah.
Exactly. You can graze and you can buy. But if you want to get to the pies and cakes and all that,
Yeah.
you've got to get through a little
You've got to
tube.
crawl through a little tube.
Yeah, it would just be forever going, dude, fat bloke stuck in aisle 3. They'd have to keep getting them out.
Well, I was stuck behind one on the tube. It got out of the tube on the escalators. And you know, like on escalators, you're meant to stand to the right so people can get past.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time him standing on the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking up the full thing. He had a tracksuit on, like they always do. You know, never seen a track in its life, that tracksuit. And so I stayed behind him because he had no option. He saw everyone behind me sort of going, what's the hold up here? Like a convoy of people going, what's at the front, what's happening here, what's it? And it's him sort of blocking it. He gets to the bit, you know, where you have to put your ticket in or your Oyster card and swipe it. He had to go through the bit for trolleys.
Just his luggage.
How embarrassing is that?
Unbelievable.
But that's
you know
when you
what?
know, innit? That's when you go, you know what?
Exactly. But I don't think there's enough stigma. I think, because, you know, political correctness now and the fact that food is so refined, there's no stigma anymore. I laugh about being fat. I should be ashamed. I should walk down the street and people go, fatty! That's what I want to get me out of there. I get up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I go, oh, you fucking fat bastard.
Yeah.
But no,
I think the same every time I see you.
I know, but look how successful I am.
But you're right.
There should be,
People look up to you, Rick. That's
I know.
the problem. You're a role model. They got pictures of you on their wall.
I
as
often
they're
get
stuck in their
voted
face.
role model for what people want to be. Now, maybe they don't mean they want to make a successful sitcom and be rich and famous. Maybe they mean I want to eat as much as I want and no one say anything about it.
The number of times I've seen you on one of those, the ideal dinner guest.
I know.
You're not the ideal dinner guest.
Well,
firstly, there'd be nothing else to go round for anyone else.
And I'm always early.
Right.
So by the time anyone, that'd be it, yeah. The ideal
sausages
dinner
are
guest, as
gone.
long as he comes halfway through the meal.
Yeah.
So
and I think they mean, it'd be funny because he'd be very witty and charming. No, he'd just be stuffing his face for 2 hours.
Wouldn't be
then he's out the
talking.
door.
I wouldn't be talking. If there's food there, I'll just listen. I can listen. I mean, I can't really hear because when I chow down, some of it gets in my ears.
Sure, yeah.
I will go deep into a pasta.
Yeah, the face is in the bowl.
I'm actually deaf and blind for 4 minutes that I'm eating.
Yeah.
It's like when a horse bolts.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see or hear anything. They just bolt. But I don't know what we could do really. I mean,
I think we should be clear here. We're not saying, we don't want to encourage
we're not
people...
saying fat people are all right. We're saying they're wrong.
Well, yeah, but I want to make
I want to
make an important point here, Rick,
Okay.
which is that
They're
we're not
gross.
talking.
What?
We're not talking
The
about
pigs.
how. Listen,
What? Fat?
this is important. This is an important point.
Okay.
There's a lot of young people, and they don't eat and stuff because they want to try and look like Victoria Beckham and all that stuff.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not talking about that. We're not talking about just being, respectable size,
No.
a little bit curvy or whatever. You don't got to be like a size 0. We're not talking about that debate.
Definitely not.
We're talking about the crazy obesity that's going on. 5'2", you're weighing 14 stone.
Absolutely.
It's a time to probably stop going to the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah.
Which is not a competition, incidentally.
But
It's because, like you said, though, you're not allowed to
There's
call
no
them
stigma.
fatty anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I was at school, if there was a fat kid,
yeah.
he did get, sort of being picked on that isn't good.
His
But
nickname
the
was
fact
Pork
is,
Pie or Fatty or
but
Porky.
he'd sort of be chased to be beaten up, so at least he got a run. Whereas now, kids aren't allowed to pick on little fat kids.
No, I know.
So he's not running anywhere, and it gets worse.
See that maybe is that a good thing? If you pick on a fat kid and steal his lunch money, is that cruel to be kind? Do you know what I mean?
Survival of the fittest again, isn't it?
But I mean, they go, okay, Jobson, you picked on little fatty again and nicked his lunch money. You go, yeah, I thought he was eating too much and I'm worried about his heart. They go, oh, well done, Jobson.
Yeah.
Go and pick on some more fat people, nick all their lunch money.
I don't know what the rules are. I mean, as
I don't
say,
know.
It's all gone crazy.
I mean, I think I'm allowed to call people fat because I'm a bit fat.
You're reclaiming the word.
It's like how black people can say the N-word. I can say the F-word. I can say fatty because I am fat,
It is remarkable. I mean, you've seen pictures of Ricky, surely, Karl, in his youth. I mean, kind of David Bowie-like face. Very
it's a
sort
different
of
person.
strong. Well, anyone who's ever seen that to me has said, I don't understand. They're just genuinely baffled. I mean, it is weird. It's really... I don't understand, Rick, how you've gone from that. People should look you up on the web, and it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't Jane get annoyed? Doesn't she feel like she's been ripped off?
No, when I was 20.
How did you not notice?
I was 20, and I stayed like that till I was about 29. And then I thought, then I started filling out. Then I was sort of like
Yeah, but
becoming
I
a normal
knew you
bloke.
when you were about 36 and you were...
Yeah, I was already there. No, I'd done the eating years then, boy. No, I went from about... I mean, in those pictures, I was probably like 8.5 stone, too thin.
Yeah.
And then I was like 9. And then 30, 31, went to 10 stone, and then about a stone a year. I think I was my fattest when, just after.
Yeah.
I'm like 14 stone now.
But it's like if you look at it on the web or something, compare the two, it's like one of those Weight Watchers before and after, but the wrong way around.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, so I feel that I can have a go at fat people. I think I can claim the word. I can call fatty. Like Steve can have a go at you can have a go at bald people, Karl. You can go, oh, look at that round-headed bald twat. You will never see someone as round-headed and bald as you, and Steve can go, oh, look, Rick, look at that fucking twattish, goggle-eyed freak over there.
Yeah,
No.
How often would that happen?
Hang on. Let's slag Ricky off a bit more, can we? And Fattos.
Also, I've got this is how much I've let myself go. Steve, it's finally happened. I want you to test my trousers there. Feel them.
Oh, what is that? That is some
pyjamas.
Are you actually wearing pyjamas?
I'm actually wearing... It happened
come out of
today.
the house?
That's the first time.
Now, was it because of speed you had to get out of the house because you were
No,
late?
I'll tell you why, right? Okay, the last couple of years, I mean, for the last, I'd say 10 years, I've been wearing comfortable clothes. I never wear a pair of jeans that are too tight. I don't wear shoes that, it's just comfort for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me fidget when I put a suit on for an award ceremony.
Yeah.
I don't like it, okay? I never look good in stuff. You see it on the model in the shop window, puts it on you, oh, well, okay. So, that's great. They look like David Beckham. I put it on, I look like a wallet or something. Do you know what I mean? Just, it doesn't look good. I've been wearing, as you know, sweatpants, right? A drawstring.
Yeah.
Okay? I got a pair of, sweatpants recently that are nearly pyjamas. They're so,
I mean, what is the distinction at this point?
I don't know.
It's quite a thin line.
They're nearly pyjamas. Today, they were in the wash. So I thought, hold on though, I might as well just wear my pyjamas.
I should point out that it's not a 1950s pair of pyjamas that looks a bit like a suit with a little breast pocket.
No.
And it's, you wouldn't necessarily notice.
No, you wouldn't.
Until you touch them, you realise it's a kind of lycra.
Yeah, they're very sort of nice and thin. They look like a tracksuit bottom, but here's the difference. I've even done away with the drawstring. Look, these are just elasticated. This is the day I really gave up. Stone Roses, Fool's Gold, XFM, 104.9. Brilliant.
Can't help but notice you've brought some sandwiches in, Rick. What's in there?
Cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion?
Yeah.
Because I've never ever seen you make sandwiches before. I've seen you take a piece of bread out of a loaf and sort of fold it in half. Crumbs everywhere.
Well, Jane made that for me because I was in a bit of a hurry.
I didn't think for a minute that you
Why?
made
Because it looks neat.
Well, they're wrapped in the tin foil. A knife has been used.
As opposed to chewing round the baguette.
Exactly,
yeah, breaking it in half.
Yeah.
Albert Steptoe.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah. Nice?
It's great, but the onions are strong.
Are they?
Making my eyes water.
Yeah.
If I come and breathe on you,
it'll
cure any sort of skin disease you might have. Skin disease. We watched that, Karl. You know, that Karl was raving about that thing about parasites, about worms coming out your brain and that. And I watched
What is this? Is it a TV show?
Yeah, called Body Snatchers.
Right.
And it was pretty fascinating. And, I mean, amazingly shot as well. I mean, it's got to win an award for photography.
Yeah.
And there was one bit that this little girl had been bitten by a mosquito and laid her eggs, and it went to the doctor. She had a lump on her neck, like a boil. And they pulled it out, and it was like a bullet, this maggot.
Oh.
And they put it down, and it was wriggling in her blood, right? But the hole left was sort of aesthetically pleasing. You know, like that feeling you get, like, I once had an ingrown hair, and I quite liked it when I pulled it out. And it's a perfect little hole. And I thought, I wouldn't mind having those as long as they sort of like healed over.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, it's weird, isn't it?
Well, why would you want a hole in your body?
No, it's like pulling something out, sort of like pulling something out of your body. It's
I
sort
don't
of
know what you're
cleansing,
talking
isn't it? No, but it's sort of like, I don't know what
This is it, you watch one programme recommended to you by Karl, you've turned into Karl. You want a hole in your body?
No, it was like, you know, like squeezing a really good sort of like spot. I mean, I haven't squeezed spots for ages. In fact, I'd never had spots, but maybe that's it. I didn't have spots.
Right.
And I always thought that'd be nice, squeezing a spot.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why
I
would
don't
these
know.
things
I
be
don't know what I'm
pleasurable?
talking
Why would an ingrowing hair? That's
Yeah, it
great
was good.
fun.
That was good, because I got it, it was like a little lump, and I pulled it, and then it pulled out, and it was like, left a little
I know
hole.
what you mean. Because I get thick hairs around there.
Yeah.
Like, really...
Oh, when they come out, it's like a bit of wax.
Yeah.
Like putting out a little candle.
And
I love that.
What?
Yeah.
Because I've got not much hair on my head, right? It sort of grows thicker on my face.
No, not true.
Sure, but go on.
Yeah.
No, it does.
Not true, baby. Go on. No evidence for that. Just made it up.
So it grows sort of thicker on my neck and that, and now and again I'll see like something that's like a twig. Right, it's really thick.
Yeah, you feel it, and then you think, oh, I'm going to have that, and then you work at it, and then when you get hold of it, it's brilliant. It's like pulling out, it's fantastic. It's waxy and build up, and it pulls out, and it stretches your skin, and it leaves a hole.
I've just realised why we talk about Chinese people, monkeys and gays every week.
Why?
Because this is the sort of replacement. This is what we've got, if we're not talking about them.
But it was great as well. And there's this parasite, right, that lives in a fish, right? And what it does, it changes the fish's behaviour. Because to breed, it has to get its body temperature up, so it has to get into a bird. Right?
What needs to get into the bird? The fish?
Parasite. To
the
complete
parasite
its
needs to
life
get into a
cycle,
bird,
yeah.
right.
So it changes the behaviour of the stickleback, and it makes the stickleback sort of suicidal. So the stickleback doesn't flee when it sees a heron, it gets caught.
Right.
Because this stickleback has changed its behaviour. Karl didn't quite understand this,
I
did
still
you?
don't really get it. I watched it and you see like the fat fish and that and you go, oh, it's not well. But I don't understand.
Well, all it does is, it has to get into a bird because it has to breed, to lay its eggs, it has to have a raise of body temperature, so it has to, a fish is cold-blooded, so it has to get into a bird which is warm-blooded. There's lots of things, there's certain things at that level.
Why is it doing that?
Because it needs the temperature. It needs the heat energy for its reaction. Just like, for example, that's why your balls are on the outside. Because the cells have to be a certain temperature to survive. I don't know if it's the sperm or Sertoli cells, but they have to be a couple of degrees below body temperature. Otherwise, they'd be in a nice cage and we wouldn't get kicked in the nads.
What do you mean?
That's why your testicles are on the outside of your body. They have to be a couple of degrees below body temperature.
Yeah, but it's not. That isn't why they're there. You see, this is like the chat we had last week about the giraffe having a long neck.
What do you mean?
They're there because that's where they happen to be. They didn't go right.
Well, that's what evolution is. It's a selection process. It's not a will. The balls didn't say, look, I'm too hot, let's get us outside, let's get outside of here!
Alright, hang on a minute then.
What?
So a little man monkey, right? Theirs are in the same place as ours.
Yeah.
But they're walking around naked, so it could be anywhere. They could be, like, on the back. It doesn't matter where they are.
They call it, well, they could be on the back, yeah.
So why aren't they?
This is a completely different... Steve!
You started it! I wash my hands of the whole affair.
And we're not only back to balls, but we're back to monkey balls.
Yes.
In one thing from about parasites, we're back to monkey ball news.
Yeah.
How do we get back to chimp testicle news?
Alright then, so this worm's in a fish.
Yeah. It's like a little platyhelminth. I think it's some sort of...
But what I mean is, why are they about?
What do you mean? They
Why?
evolved.
But why haven't they died out?
Because they're very successful.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean, yeah? Tell me the brain event that made you say yeah in that 1 second gap.
Because in a way I don't get it, and if I think about it too much, it hurts a bit.
They've just been around for years, Carl. Yeah. Like Cliff Richard or something like that. Yeah.